Hello students, welcome to Molecular Biology part 13. In this video, we will discuss about a transcription in eukaryotes. The basic mechanism of transcription is similar in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. In eukaryotes, transcription takes place in the nucleus. In eukaryotes, multiple RNA polymerases are required instead of only one. So already we discussed about prokaryotes. So in prokaryotes, RNA polymerase is only one DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Only one is involved in the transcription. But in eukaryotes, the multiple RNA polymerases are required. So there are three distinct type of RNA polymerases in the nucleus of eukaryotes, and each of them perform distinct function. So then multiple RNA polymerases, that means different types are required. How many? Three different types of RNA polymerases are present in the eukaryote nucleus, and the three distinct types of RNA polymerases having a different functions. The three distinct RNA polymerases are RNA polymerase 1, RNA polymerase 2, RNA polymerase 3. Already we said that these three having a distinct functions. So let's see that. RNA polymerase 1. So this RNA polymerase 1 is located in nucleoli. So the location is nucleoli. It synthesizes the precursors of most RNA except 5S RNA. There are precursors is nothing but a starting precursors. So there are different types of precursors for this RNA. They are 28S, 18S and 5.8S except 5S RNA. Remaining three types are synthesized by this RNA polymerase 1. Second one, RNA polymerase 2. It occurs in nucleoplasm. That means fluid substance in the nucleus. It synthesizes the nuclear pre-RNAs. That is, it is also considered as hnRNA, heterogeneous the pre-RNAs. That is heterogeneous RNA, heterogeneous nuclear RNA is synthesized by this RNA polymerase 2. Next, third type, that is RNA polymerase 3. It also occurs in the nucleoplasm, and it synthesizes the precursors of S, 5S RNA, tRNAs, and other small nuclear RNAs are synthesized by this RNA polymerase 3. So it is a diagrammatic representation particularly to show about that polymerases. So now polymerase 1, it is helpful to synthesize this pre RNA. Ribosomal RNA synthesis is regulated by RNA polymerase 1, and RNA polymerase 2, it is helpful for the synthesis of pre-mRNA, that is these are called as hnRNA. Pre-mRNAs are also called hnRNA. And polymerase 3, polymerase 3, RNA polymerase 3, it is helpful for synthesizing tRNAs. So if you once recall that prokaryotes transcription, In prokaryote transcription, all these three RNAs are regulated by DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Only one polymerase is involved in all these three formation of these types of RNA. mRNA, tRNA, rRNA, all these three are formed by only one polymerase enzyme in prokaryotes. But in eukaryotes, it required different types of polymerases. Polymerase 1 is required for formation of rRNA. Polymerase 2 required to formation of mRNA. Polymerase 3 it is required to formation of tRNA. Various steps in transcription. We are already given one statement that the transcription process is similar in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. That means whatever the steps we are observed in prokaryotes, that steps are common. So now in prokaryotes already we studied that the transcription takes place by three steps or three stages. So the three stages are initiation, elongation, termination. The three stages are also common in the transcription in eukaryotes. So now let's see that initiation of transcription in eukaryotes. In eukaryotes, the RNA polymerases cannot initiate transcription by themselves. They require assistance by transcription factors. Whereas in prokaryotes, it is initiates by themselves. RNA polymerase itself initiates the transcription in prokaryotes. But in eukaryotes, it is not possible by RNA polymerase to initiate transcription. They require assistance by transcription factors. The three polymerases, that means RNA polymerase 1, RNA polymerase 2, RNA polymerase 3, required different promoters and transcription factors. Synthesis of nuclear pre-RNAs, that is hnRNAs, involves RNA polymerase 2, and it is found to transcribe most of the eukaryotic genes. So pre-mRNAs or hnRNA is synthesized by RNA polymerase 2. Unwinding of DNA segment takes place for initiation of RNA synthesis. And RNA polymerase 2 recognize the conserved sequences in the promoters. That means which sequences are required to start that initiation of transcription. Conserved sequences is recognized by the RNA polymerase 2 for initiation of this transcription. The following conserved elements are present in transcription of eukaryotes. So in that, the conserved elements, first one is Tata box, TATA box. The conserved sequence that is closest to the start site of transcription is called as Tata box or TATA box. And it is also called as a prion box. It is also having another name. So conserved sequence that is closest to the start site of the transcription is called as TATA box. The consensus sequence is TA, TA, A. This is the sequence of the consensus sequence. What is the meaning of this consensus sequence? So consensus sequence is an ideal promoter sequence in DNA in Escherichia coli. For example, two are found, that is minus 35 sequence and a minus 10 sequences. The consensus sequence was originally determined by comparison of promoter sequence that were already known and selection of the base that was most common at each position. Such sequences are considered as the consensus sequence. So what is this consensus sequences or comparison of promoter sequence that were already known and selection of base pair that was most common at each position. So this is already known promoter sequence. That means the Tata box, it is present. That means this TATA sequence, it is present closest to the starting site. So it is already known sequence. So the starting site of transcription is always initiated nearest or closest to this sequence. That's why it is considered as consensus sequence or maybe Tata box. TATA region or maybe Tata box. That means during this transcription process, the initiation site or starting site of transcription is always closest to this TATA sequence. Now, where it is present? It is present or centered at position minus 30, and its function is to position the transcription starting point. So let's see the diagrammatic representation of that. See, so we are said that center of that minus 30. We said that initiation site we are considered as where the initiation INR indicates the initiation, that is start of transcription, that is always represented with the +1. Okay, so now there is already known sequence, that is TATA. That's why it is considered consensus sequences or the known sequences on the promoter region. So the closest to this TATA region, this start of transcription is initiated. Already we said why this region is suitable, because of having double bonds between the base pair. Clear? Now, and it is located on center of minus 30. Clear? The next conserved element is cat box. CACAT box. It is commonly called as a cat box. It is also another conserved element. So the consensus sequence is GGCCAA It is a already known sequence, that is a consensus sequence, and this sequence is positioned at position near to this minus 80. So this minus indicates that it is present in upstream, or it present left side to this initiation, that means +1. +1 indicates the initiation site. Below that sequences are represented with the minus. So now minus 80 at this region, we can find the another conserved elements, that is a cat box. centered to the minus 30 region. It is a Tata box. It is very closest to the initiation of site of transcription. And cat box, it is present near 80th position, that nucleated sequence position it consists, and it enhances the efficiency of transcription in initiation of the transcription. Efficiency of it enhances the efficiency of the transcription, this cat box. And then third conserved element is GC box. The consensus sequence is GGG CGG. This is the known sequence for this conserved element. So the known sequence, already known sequences of promoter are called as a consensus sequence. So it is located near to this minus 100 region. Okay, and they affect the efficiency of promoter in initiation of the transcription. Efficiency of transcription by cat box, the efficiency of promoter by GC box. Clear? Now, Tata box is the core promoter, part of it is included in the promoter region. And a proximal, that means the conserved elements which is present in front of that promoter region. Proximal means front region. Distal, opposite word is distal. Distal means end. Tail region is distal and head region is proximal. So forward to this promoter, the conserved elements which are present in front of the promoter is GC box and cat box. And these are called as the proximal control elements. They control the efficiency of transcription as well as efficiency of promoter. They are present in front of that promoter. And Tata box is a part of core promoter region. Next, the second stage in transcription, that is elongation. RNA chain elongation takes place in eukaryotes by the same process as in prokaryotes. Once the eukaryotic RNA polymerases have been released from their initiation complex. So once the eukaryotic polymerase enzyme is released from their initiation complex, then elongation is initiated. The growing RNA chains are only about 30 nucleotide long. The fifth ends of eukaryotic pre-RNAs are modified by the addition of methyl guanosine triphosphate caps. It is known as the capping. So after going of the RNA chains, the 5 end of that pre-mRNA chain is capped with, or closest one end is capped with methyl guanosine triphosphate. Why it is caps that region? This methyl guanosine triphosphate cap have two main functions. They are recognized by protein factors involved in the initiation of translation. So this methyl guanosine triphosphate is recognized during translation process. Second one, They protect the growing RNA chains from degradation by nucleases. Nucleases are the enzymes present in the nucleus. They are enzymes. So now due to presence of these caps at the fifth end, it protect from these enzymes. Otherwise, this enzyme degraded, digest this RNA chains. So the capping one is helpful during translation, that is protein synthesis, to identify. And next, recognized, is helpful to recognize these RNA strands. These caps are helpful to recognize during initiation of translation. And a second one, they protect these strands from degradation of nucleases enzymes which are present in the nucleus, because the transcription in eukaryotes takes place in the nucleus. So this is the diagrammatic representation. Already we know very well that. So unwinding one end and another one is the recoiling will takes place, rewinding, unwinding, and it is elongated. So when the strand is, so this fifth end, it is joined with the methyl guanosine triphosphate. Methyl guanosine triphosphate is added at the fifth end, and already we mentioned 2 points. It is helpful to recognize during translation, and the second one, it protects from the action of nucleases enzymes. This now third stage of transcription, that is termination. In eukaryotes, the third end of RNA transcripts synthesized by RNA polymerase II are not produced by termination of transcription. Did you understand this point? I am repeating again. In eukaryotes, the third end of RNA transcript synthesized by RNA polymerase II. Is clear? So RNA transcripts are synthesized by RNA polymerase II enzyme. Clear? And this enzyme is not produced by termination of transcription. So during termination, the RNA polymerase enzyme 2 is not produced. Now, the transcription proceeds 1000 to 2000 nucleotides beyond the site that will become the third end terminus. Then the distal segment is removed by endonucleolytic cleavage. Distal means tail region, end region. So end region means whenever the RNA polymerase II is not produced, that indicates that the termination. So then at that three terminus, three end, five end already it is capped with methyl guanosine triphosphate. Okay, capped. And now another third end, it is considered as third terminus. Third terminus, the distal, that means end segment is removed. End segment is removed by endonucleolytic cleavage. Once the cleavage has taken place, once the cleavage, that means the third and terminus undergo cleavage, the enzyme polyadenylate polymerase enzyme adds polyadenylate or adenylic tails to the third end of the transcript. Once at the third end, distal end, it is cleaved. So third end is cut. Cleaved is nothing but broken. At this third region, an enzyme, that is polyadenylate polymerase enzyme, adds polyadenylate tails at this third end. It, this addition of polyadenylate tails is called as tailing. So these polyadenylate tails are about 200 to 300 nucleotide long, and the process of addition of polyadenylate tails to the eukaryotic mRNA is called as polyadenylation, and it play important role in their transport from the nucleus to the cytoplasm. So this addition of polyadenylate at third end is required to transport from nucleus to the cytoplasm. Where the transcription takes place, it takes place in the nucleus. From that nucleus, the mRNA need to bring to the cytoplasm, need to transport. The transport is depends on this polyadenylate tails. Polymerase 1 and 3 respond to this termination signal. So, elongation and synthesis of RNA transcripts, that means hnRNA, depends on polymerase 2, and polymerase 1 and 2 respond to this termination of this transcription. Okay, so polyadenylate tails are adds to the third end, and they are required for transport transcript. That means HRNA, not HRNA, mRNA from nucleus to cytoplasm. So now let's see this representation of this. So the proximal control elements, the control elements here we know very well three control elements. That is one is Tata box, another one CAT box, another one is the GC box. Three proximal control elements, and in this Tata box is the core of this promoter. So in this promoter somewhere the site. So the control element which is closest to the promoter is Tata box, and this CAT box is helpful for enhance the efficiency of transcription, and GC box it enhances the efficiency of promoter. Is all. So now here we already said that in prokaryotes, the gene is polycistronic. Polycistronic gene is polycistronic, and it consists the polycistronic consists only exons, no introns. Introns are absent, only exons are present. But whereas in eukaryotes, the gene is monocistronic, monocistronic gene, and it consists both exons. These are coding regions, exons, and also consists the introns, that is non-coding regions present in that. So here they are. So the exon means it is a coding region. Introns means it is a non-coding region. So now first it is transcribed from the DNA, one strand of DNA, and that we will called as the primary transcript or pre-RNA. This is also considered as this is also considered as hnRNA. So hnRNA or primary transcript or pre-mRNA are the precursor of that mRNA. So that means this hnRNA, it undergoes the post-transcriptional process. That means in nucleus itself, it undergoes the process. Further processing is required. What is that processing? It needs to removing that are non-coding regions, introns, removing the introns. So when the introns are removed, then they are joined the exons with a specific order. So this process we will call as the splicing. Splicing. So removing of introns and joining the axons in a specific order is called as splicing. So then after splicing, it forms a mRNA. So already we said capped the mRNA before enter into that. The fifth end is capped with methyl guanosine triphosphate, and it is third end it is adds by the polyadenylate tile adenylate, that is amino acid only, adenylate or add, that is 200 to 300 nucleotides are add as a polyadenylate tail. So this region is helpful to transport this mRNA from nucleus to the cytoplasm. We have already discussed that in prokaryotes, the genes consists of continuous sequences of nucleotide pairs which are transcribed into mRNA and then translated into proteins. So that means prokaryotes having continuous sequence without any non-coding regions. So like this, it is continuous. Whereas in eukaryotes, the genes contain non-coding, that is intron sequences between coding or exon sequences. These genes are called as the split genes. So eukaryotes having split genes. What is a split gene? The gene consists both non-coding and coding sequences are called split genes. These split genes are absent in prokaryotes. So that means we can draw like this. So this is the gene of the eukaryote. It is eukaryote and the gene of prokaryotes. So prokaryote gene is a continuous coding sequence. There is no any introns, non-coding regions. Whereas the eukaryotic gene consists coding regions. The green lines are coding and these red lines are non-coding regions. So gene with coding and non-coding regions are considered as the split genes. Split gene. Now, eukaryotic mRNA transcripts undergo post-transcriptional processing in the nucleus. Eukaryotic mRNA transcript. mRNA transcripts, that is pre-mRNA or maybe hnRNA, undergo post-transcriptional processing. Post means after formation of this hnRNA. That means in eukaryotes, directly mRNA is not synthesized. The mRNA first form as a mRNA transcripts or pre-mRNA or hnRNA, and later it undergo processing and then form as a matured mRNA. So now see this diagrammatic representation. So proximal core, promoter core, and the starting point, this is the transcription process, and this is the transcription processing region, and it is termination region. Now first it form as mRNA transcripts or maybe hrNA. This is hrNA, and it undergo post transcription modification. Post transcription modification. So in hnRNA, heterogeneous nuclear RNA, this heterogeneous nuclear RNA, hetero means different, consists different regions, that is coding regions, non-coding regions. And this heterogeneous RNA, when it forms, it fifth end, it is capped with methyl guanosine triphosphate, and the third end it is tailed with polyadenylate tail. Now it undergo post transcriptional modification. What happens during post transcription modification? Introns are removed and exons, that is coding regions, are joined a specific order and form as a matured mRNA, and this mRNA undergo translation, that means brings that coding for translation process and finally form as a protein. Introns are removed from mRNA transcripts by process called RNA splicing. During RNA processing, prior to their transport to the cytoplasm. So this splicing is occurred during RNA processing prior to their transport, before transporting to the cytoplasm. That means the post transcriptional process occurred in nucleus itself. The hnRNA undergo splicing, that is RNA, mRNA transcripts or pre-mRNA or hnRNA undergo splicing to remove introns and to join exons in a specific order. Now, the spliced mRNA can be exported to the cytoplasm for translation. The removed introns are degraded within the nucleus. Let's see the few diagrammatic representation. So transcription, first one after transcription, that is capping at fifth end. Endonuclease, that means a cut at the third terminal, and addition of that polyadenylate. Polyadenylate and polyadenylation is takes place. Addition of that polyadenylate, then it become, here it is capping is present, and here it is polyadenylate 200 to 300 nucleotides are joined, adenylate, and then it undergo this pre-mRNA or hnRNA undergo splicing, that means removing of that introns. The blue color regions are introns, these are introns, and rejoin, that means joining the specific order of the taxons to form mature mRNA. Then this mRNA carried to cytoplasm, cytoplasm for translation. For translation. And let's see. So this photograph, it is also given in the textbook also. So here the RNA, mRNA is synthesized on 5 to 3 direction, and fifth end after formation of growing of RNA up to 30 nucleotides length. The fifth end is capped with methyl guanosine triphosphate, and this methyl guanosine triphosphate function, two functions. One is it recognizes the initiation of the translation, and second one, it is helpful to protect this RNA transcript from the action of nucleases enzymes. And then at third end, it is formed as a termination region. The termination is involved by enzyme 1 and polymerase 3 enzymes are involved, and this transcription is involved by the polymerase 2 enzyme is regulate that initiation and elongation of that. And now during termination, the third end, it is undergo polyadenylation. After cleavage, it undergo polyadenylation. That means addition of polyadenylate tails. Polyadenylate sequence is added on the third end, and this tail is helpful for transport this RNA to the cytoplasm. So then after capping and tailing, then this hnRNA or pre-mRNA or pre-mRNA or mRNA transcript is undergo post-transcriptional process, and all the introns are removed, and exons are joined in a specific order to form a matured mRNA, messenger RNA, and it is transported to the cytoplasm for the translation process.